Bhagavad Gita play to over 21 countries. We've done it in Spanish, German, French, Italian, Chinese, and we went to Africa, we did it in Zulu language. So this way we're sharing with the world your culture. This is actually your culture. This is your spiritual culture. And you can see that it's actually so important for the world to hear this basic knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is the ABCs of spiritual knowledge, and Bhagavatam is the XYZ. But in Western countries, people have very little, if any, transcendental knowledge. Of course, there's many pious souls, they're practicing their chosen religion. But Bharat or India has the Param Gatim, it has the perfection of knowledge. Who we are as a soul within this body. We're not these gross bodies made of material elements. We're dynamic souls. And there's a supreme soul who's the father of all living entities. And we were once with him in Vrindavan as cowherd boys, as girls, as cows, whatever. Everything's personal in the spiritual world. But as we saw the young girl in the first drama, the conditioned soul, we fell from grace into this world in various countries and different civilizations, etc. And we carry on with our activities, forgetful of that loving relationship with God, which is really what we're searching for. It really makes us happy. So we go to all these countries of the world and we give people an introduction like this, through culture, through theater, through dance, through music, through prasadam. One time I met a pilot on a plane. I was sitting in the seat, and the pilot came back and he said to me, I think I know you people. You're all over the world. What's it called? Oh yeah, you're the kitchen religion. Because we distribute so much prasad. Some people like singing and dancing. Singing the holy names of Krishna and Radha. Some people like that. Some people, they want to understand who they are, what's the higher goal of life, where they've come from, what happens at death, what is God. We give them Gita, translated into their mother tongue. Some people are not so interested, but everyone has to begin their spiritual life in some way. So we go all over the world, and we give rice, dal, chapati, kachoris, samosas, gulab jamun, sandesh, burfi, rasmalai, and they think, I like this religion. So many of you are living in India, and especially here in Vrindavan, you're maintaining this culture. And that's very important. After 500 years, I'm very proud of all the Brajvasis, because we come here and we see it's very much like it was when Krishna was here 5,000 years ago. But again, Krishna wanted this Braj culture not only to stay in Braj, only in India, but as he said, he's the seed-giving father of all living entities. So when you once again see your father, Krishna, you taste prasadam, you hear the chanting of the holy names, all comes back. All comes back. I'm an eternal servant of Krishna. And then you begin to practice. And by practice, we become perfect. And then eventually, where will we live? In Goloka Vrindavan. This is Gokul Vrindavan. This is the spiritual sky on this earth. But the eternal planet, the topmost planet of the spiritual world, is Goloka Vrindavan. And that's where we're meant to go, by practicing this Braj culture. Only then we'll be happy, because this world, with all the science and technology, they can't stop birth, they can't stop disease, they can't stop old age, they can't stop death. So an intelligent person thinks, I can't be perfectly happy here. But is there perfect happiness? Yes. So many saints have come to this land of Bharat to remind us through the millennium who we are and what is our relationship with Krishna. And in this age, because we're busy as bees with our various minor dharmas, taking care of the body, of course, we have our families, we have our neighborhood, we have our countries, we have obligations. But we have to find time to revive that dormant love for Radha and Krishna, which is the visa for going back home. And Krishna has made it very simple in this age. Not so much tapasya and austerity, not too many rules and regulations. What do we have to do? Harinam, 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 Eva Kulo, Nashdeva, Nashdeva, Nashdeva. called it the most simple and easiest, sublime method of reviving that soul, waking the soul up. Who is Krishna? We just chant his name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Why is it so powerful, chanting Krishna's name? Why have all these Western boys and girls, Brazil, Argentina, China, Canada, why have they embraced the culture of Nam? Because the chanting works. Mantra is very powerful. It was powerful 5,000 years ago. It's powerful now. It will be powerful in 10,000 years. Why is Krishna's name so powerful? Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Vigraha means form. This is the sound incarnation of God. We know the Dasha avatars. But here's a sound incarnation of God. My Guru said, when you're chanting these names of God, Hare Krishna, Krishna's dancing on the tip of your tongue. And because he's a reservoir of all pleasure, you begin to taste something higher than the temporary pleasures of this world. Doesn't mean we go to the forest to be a yogi every night. We carry on with our duties, with our studies, with our career, with our family, but we balance. We find time for the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And we try to make it fun, because spiritual life has to be funner than material life. Or why would anyone take the spiritual life? Therefore, we take this festival all over the world. We sing, we dance, we have theatrical performances, we have big stage programs, we have tents depicting different aspects of Indian culture. People just come into the festival and they say, I want to be like you people. So I say, don't change anything. Be who you are, businessman, doctor, president of the country. But chant, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because ultimately this Vrindavan culture, it's not Indian culture. I'm sorry. It's not Indian culture. It's the culture of the spiritual world. India has the responsibility to share this culture. This is the greatest gift you can give. We know that Indian culture came up with the concept of zero in mathematics. India had the first university. India has contributed many things to the world, and the world's grateful. But the real thing is to give them knowledge. Knowledge is the most valuable thing. Chanakya Pandit from Niti Shastri says the opulence of night. The opulence of night? The opulence of night is the moon. The opulence of a country is a pious king. The opulence of a woman is a good husband. The opulence of everything is knowledge. Just like we study material knowledge, and with that knowledge we can progress very well through life. It all finishes in death. But with spiritual knowledge, you can free yourself from the cycle of reincarnation to go home back to the spiritual world. So we're your humble servants. We weren't born into this culture. We were introduced to this culture by one of India's greatest saints, His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who lived here in Vrindavan for many years. And his guru said, take Braj to the world. So our Guru Maharaj had no money. He had 40 rupees. He had a supply of Srimad Bhagavatams. He went on a cargo ship from India to New York. And he told us that when he got off at the port in New York, he didn't know to go left or right. He was penniless for all that. And Krishna says in Gita, Yogikshemam Maham Yam. For my devotee, one who's given his life to me, I protect what he has and I provide what he needs. So Prabhupada was a beggar, you could say, but spiritually he was very rich. With the knowledge of the Gita and the chanting of Hare Krishna, he conquered America. Believe me. He conquered America. He went everywhere. New York, Chicago, Tallahassee, Omaha, San Francisco. And all he did is he chanted, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tsunami of Braj culture throughout the world. Tens of thousands young people are like this, in these clothes, with a shaved head. Oh, this seems so strange. No, this is reality. To be a Brajbasi, that's the reality, because that's the perfect culture. We love Krishna. You love Krishna more than anyone's been loved before, and Krishna loves you more than anyone's been loved before. So this is your culture, but we're your humble servants. Again, we are your adopted sons and daughters. We come from Malecha Desh, Yamuna Desh. By the mercy of Guru Maharaj, we've been elevated to the strict practice of Krishna consciousness. No meat, fish or eggs, no intoxication, no sex outside of marriage, and no gambling. Guru Maharaj said, stop all that nonsense. How you will do? You chant this mantra, you get a higher taste. So we're doing that, and we're trying to share your culture. All we ask is that you give us your blessings, that when this pandemic is finished, Corona Sura, we have Pravamba Sura and Agasura. This is Corona Sura. When it's finished, you please bless us that we can somehow, I don't know how I'm going to leave Braj. I've been here for 2 years now. But when it's over, we are, by the order of our Guru, meant to go into that darkness of ignorance and give light, knowledge, Gita and Bhagavatam, and make people happy, make people enlightened by chanting Hare Krishna. We cannot do it without you, believe me. You're maintaining this culture. When we come here and we associate with the Goswamis, and we see the Bhagavatam, the Mahaprabhu gave Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. We see his wooden sandals. We see the Tulsi garland here. It's been preserved. It's been nicely worshipped. We can come and see it. We get inspired to go to the West and tell people about your brilliant culture. So all we ask is you please remember us. We're humble souls. We're aspiring Brajavasis. We cannot name ourselves. We're aspiring Brajavasis. We depend upon the Goswami's mercy, your mercy, to share your spiritual culture, the real jewel of the world, the whole wide world. So thank you for having us today. We feel very inspired, and we look forward to the rest of the few days left at the Jaipur Cultural Summit and Dharma Research Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. On behalf of all the devotees, thank you, thank you, thank you.